Amazing artist barn up the road, and I am so proud of what's happened today, and I feel it's just like a dream come true for me, because I was thinking earlier this year about the tragedy that happened here in Half Moon Bay, and I thought, what can we do to have a healing gathering? And I really wanted to think about what connects us, what allows us to learn about each other's culture, our heritage, what makes us laugh, what do we eat, what do we like to do. And I thought, well, that's got to be art, poetry, and music. So I thought about the fact that it is the month of May, which is the Asian Pacific Islander month, Heritage Month, and I started talking to my friend Jennifer Clark, and then we started talking to Erin Tormay, and we were doing Make It Main Street in May, and Erin made it happen. So thank you so much, Erin. This is a lot of organizing, I know, and a lot of strings and a lot of connections, and I really appreciate what you did today. And I have a lot of friends that are here that are supporting us. I brought in a lot of people that I feel very close to add their voices and their music to today. And so I'm going to be introducing Flo Oi Wong, who is a very dear friend of mine. I remember when I was in grad school, I had heard about Flo, and I called her up, and I went to your house. Do you remember? We had a meeting at your house in your studio, because she is such an inspiration to me. She also started doing art later in her life and had a lot of her previous life, same as me. I had another life before I became an artist, and she's continued to do her art and her poetry and inspire people. She was one of the founders of the Asian American Women's Artists Association, and that is a very dear organization to me. I've made so many connections there. They are an amazing group that supports bringing our vision and voice out all over the United States. So anyway, I want to invite Flo Oi Wong up to read her poetry, and please give her a big hand.
I am so thrilled to be here, and to the seniors who sang, 你唱得非常好啊！我说汉语说一点啊，我是台上人，我的爸爸妈妈带着我来，很久了。I'm not sure what I said in Mandarin to them, but you know. I am so thrilled to be here. I love Half Moon Bay. When my children were young, I packed up the car and brought 2 babies to Half Moon Bay so that I could see the ocean. And if I, the mom, could see the ocean, my children could see the ocean. And to this day, I still love coming here. So it's been over 50 years that I've been coming to Half Moon Bay. I like to go to the restaurants. I like to see the ocean. I just love the small town that it is. And I just love spending time here. So today I want to read to you some of the poems that are in my book, and also newer poems. My mother and father were immigrants from China. They were impacted by the 1882 exclusion law, and as a result of the law, my father could not bring our mother to the United States as his wife. She had to come in as his sister. So in order for them to come to America to seek the freedom that America offered at that time, my parents told a lie. So my father brought my mother in, and it wasn't very easy for her to come to this country because she thought that this land was paved with gold. And when she came, she didn't find any gold on the street. And that was just a shock to her system. And so she said to me, "Oh, yeah, you loi mi guap, you have food. When you come to the United States, you have to eat bitter." Maybe that's why I like food gua so much, because I eat a lot of bitter. But she also said to me when I was growing up that I had ha mil sui, which means good karma. And bless my mother's heart, she told the truth, because I have good karma. And so with this karma, I'm going to share my poetry with you. And the first couple of poems are not mine. They're rhymes from Mai Sanwa, and I also know some in Samyuk, and I also know some in whatever. I make up languages too, so I'm not sure what language I'm talking about. So the first one I want to share with you is a child's nursery rhyme, and it goes like this. LG nyak, LG chel, LG hui hai ngao yang. And so jinyak is the neck of the pig. So L means to throw. So the first line means throw the pig neck. LG chel, throw the pig's entrails. L có bị bí, đã có cái hai cái bị bí nào. L có bị bí, hui hai ngao yang, throw the baby to see the cows and the young is lamb. Lamb? Okay, thanks. My sister Nellie's here to help me. Okay. And so the other one that I learned in Chinese school is in Cantonese. It goes like this. Yat yi sam go yan tung wei ga sam yan joy ga ngo oi ne oi ta. 1, 2, 3. Right? Yat yi sam go yan, 3 people. Tung wei ga, let all go home together. Sam yan joy ga, 3 people are at home. Ngo oi ne, I love you, you love me. And at this crazy time of our lives in this country, we need a lot of love. We need to love each other and ourselves. There's another one that I want to share with you about a grandmother, and this is in Cantonese, which is Samyuk. Okay. You do ngoi po Q, ngoi po han oi ngo, Q ngo ho bo bo, man ngo ba ba ho but ho, man ngo ma ma ho but ho, ngo da ho. And so it's the story of a grandmother who is rowing her boat, and she rows the boat on the river, okay, and to see the grandchild, or maybe I have it wrong. You know, sometimes I translate correctly and sometimes I don't. And so, and it's just a story of a grandchild going to see a grandmother. And those of you who are mothers or fathers or, you know, uncles and aunts or whatever, we always like to see our family members. So I want to continue on reading some poems from my book, Dreaming of Glistening Pomelos. And I have here my first poem. My sister Nellie is here, went to China in 1983 with a group of women poets and came back just really enthusiastic about going to China, our parents' ancestral country. And so years later, we had a family gathering and we went to China together, but Nell didn't come with us on that trip. So this is a poem about going to China with my 3 older sisters who were born there. And so the first stanza talks about getting to the village, and the second stanza is what I imagined my older sister was thinking when she got there. Under a moonlit sky, 1. My siblings and I traveled to China for a visit to our ancestral village, Gunduhang, where our 3 older sisters were born. Arriving in the small hamlet, I see for the first time the pond in front of crumbling adobe houses. The water buffalo immersed in the cool water, swishing its tail languidly while residents stare at us. We are guests from Gimsan, America. Standing in the stifling heat, I hear giggling of 3 young girls with bowl-shaped haircuts. They smile, then look shyly at the rubber tread sandals. I think of my China-born sisters, now well along in their years. What were they like? Did they skip under the banyan tree, chase one another, kicking up dirt at their heels, swat mosquitoes buzzing around their heads? I imagine my second oldest sister as a youthful child chanting, 2, holding hands under a moonlit sky. I feel the softness of your flesh. We dance towards the banyan tree, open like a leaky umbrella. Shards of moonlight beam upon us, offspring of God and goddesses. Our village, Happy Dragon, is filled with rice paddies. We smell cow dung, newly defecated on arid soil. Taste bits of rice straw caught between our teeth. Hear crickets chirping arias of flight. We swing our arms as if we have ascending wings. Glide by the field god's shrine, dreaming of glistening pomelos. This next poem is about our father. Our father was married. He left China as a teenager. He dutifully went back to China because my grandmother found him a wife. She had a baby, and unfortunately my father's first wife passed. So then he went to the next village and chose Nellie, my mom. And you know what? She had big feet. She didn't have bound feet, because if she had bound feet, she couldn't work in the fields. And so this is called In Search Of. Let me go in search of the concrete gray of Harrison Street, the cracked sidewalk squares divided by lines, so different from Baba's path of childhood, seated under the banyan tree, where ancestors gathered long ago. Let me go in search of, dream of Baba's immigrant heart, fetishes for abundant growth buried in fields, where ancestral breast and torso were seared by blistering sun, where flimsy rice stalks were grazed by scrawny worms. Let me go in search of his untied cue, A knotted one is a symbol of oppression, coiled like a snake around Baba's sun-hardened neck, his young life hidden by great walls of struggles, where his parents' toil once folded into dense manzanita bushes. Let me go in search of his son who will swallow the moon, daughters who will knit links to earth across a powerful ocean, lashing moistened shores, where their footprints will mark a new land, a new home. This poem is about me. In Asian countries and in the Chinese culture, parents want boys, no girls. And so when I was born, the sixth daughter out of 7 children, my mother cried for 1 month because I was not a boy. And it is back when heaven was just a whisper. Back when heaven was just a whisper, when my immigrant family was growing, back when my parents thirsted for chromosomal seeds to birth their wanted son, I was born. Back when autumnal winds wrapped the land, I cried keen sounds, bundled in startling cloth of rainbow hues, crimson signifying good fortune. Life beckoned and I answered, dancing with waving arms under slender piano fingers, catching my breath in diaphanous webs of sisters. I swooned in the hand-me-down crib, inhaling my sister's love. I was soft and harsh. Back when my parents still desperately wanted their son, my tendrils started to spread, and I tapped the sun's energy to eventually beam between shimmering moon and stars. You heard me say that we had 6 sisters in the family, and our brother is the youngest.
Oh my God.
And so this is called the House of Fiery Daughters. When silence is louder than thunderous drums of Lunar New Year, a time when prancing dragons joyously spit out green lettuce symbols of money, when firecrackers explode the heart of Webster Street, I run after the festive cacophony, remembering Baba and Mama's long ago ancestral homeland, a place where rice stalks swayed in monsoon-flooded fields. Howling winds swept into Baba's ancient abode that could no longer house them. After coming to our new country, my Baba and Mama resided in a house of fiery daughters until they birthed a son. And I was really jealous of my brother when he was born. So one day when my sister Lai was taking care of us, and she had to start taking care of us when she was 12 years old, I pushed my brother out of the high chair. And today he is now a famous author. His book has just been printed by Temple University, Sons of Chinatown, and we are dear friends. We had a restaurant in Oakland, Chinatown, and here goes. The restaurant's name was Ai Zhenghua, Great China. Ai Zhenghua, Great China, Tan Gon, Restaurant, O Lun Hong In Sao, Oakland, Chinatown, Gi Gang Ba, Gi Gang Sim, Uncle Gi Gang, Auntie Gi Gang, Hoi Gung La, start work now. Cà coffee, Min Bao Doi, Parker House Rolls, Ping Guo Pie, Apple Pie, Bao Wun Hun, Wrap One Ton, Ki Hoi, wait on tables, Mod Hoi, wipe the tables, Sly Ga Fair Wu, wash the coffee urn, Hoi Gung La, start work now, Hoi Gung La, start work now. And I think my 20 minutes is up. Aaron, how many more minutes do I have? 5? Okay, all right. I have in my bag here some other poems. All right. Why did I become a poet at the age of 75? Here goes. I unfold my heart to poetry. I unfold my heart to poetry when I embrace a word. Even if it isn't rounded or squared, I still explore a lyrical path that's satisfying. Not a profession. Poetry gives me center of being. It provides awareness of cadence that is wondrous and mysterious. As a late blooming poet, I seek a way or ways to approach a radiance of my expanding, idyllic, poetic life. I wrote a golden shovel poem after I read Tyree Day's poem in one of the online poetry groups. And he's saying, and this is what he said in his poem, I'm trying to find where I feel most at home. I believe that it's inside of me. As my footsteps cushion, I'm ambulating, trying to find where and how my steps soften. I want to find where I feel most cocooned in and at this outer body I call home. I now believe while climbing up downs, safety lives within my home heart. It's inside of me. Thank you.